Okay, I'm ready.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
A lot of it has to do with the media because I love the media. Like, I love watching TV, movies, magazines. I love reading.
Well, I think that really puts a lot of pressure on people to always have to look their best and look how society expects them to look.
In Vogue and every other magazine, when they cut off a woman's head, so you see it in underwear ads, a lot of clothing that completely demoralizes women, dehumanizing, etc.
I think it puts a lot of emphasis on appearance, and women are seen to be always have to be put together, always have to be beautiful and seen as desirable to men. And that's not necessarily all that women should be. I think that their personality isn't always portrayed in a positive way, and they're often seen as objects, not necessarily people.
Even Glee and stuff like that worries me, what the messages they don't even realize they're sending.
I think it causes vulnerable women to want to change their self-image and the way that they feel about themselves, and it causes them to bring on insecurities that they probably wouldn't have had.
I think in some ways it helps reading stuff like that or bringing issues like that to light, because then it helps women who are vulnerable know that they're not alone and that it's okay to feel that way.
And since I do so much studying with studying about the media, taking media and cinema courses and stuff like that, I am aware of it, so it helps me to kind of step back from that.
So whatever you consider to be beautiful, don't ask any questions, don't ask any opinions. Just keep it to yourself. And when people ask why you have all this confidence and all this sureness about yourself, say that you define you at all times.
Growing up, I didn't like things about myself too, but I'm very proud of where I am, being a college student and the things that I've accomplished, and none of that has anything to do with the way that I look or the way that I, reacted towards boys. It's all about who I am as a person and the things that I can do.
Realize that you're working for yourself and not to find a man or to start a family or anything, that the only reason you're having professional goals is to better yourself and to explore what you want to do and not for anyone else.
Especially when you read things or hear about things that happened in the past. We always say, history repeats itself, so it is important to learn about the kind of stereotypes that people place on women or things like that to kind of try and change that and make sure it doesn't continue.
I think it kind of makes this idea of a mold that all women have to fit into, and that's just it's not realistic. And even the women in those ads, they don't really look like that. We have technology that makes them look much better and smooths out wrinkles and takes off pounds.
It's almost like they're these perfect women that you can't live up to, and you're just there to watch them, and you'll never be that beautiful.
It's just not something that you should look up to because it's not realistic and it's not at all what normal women look like. My biggest insecurity is probably also worrying about what other people think of me.
I think my biggest insecurity is that people don't actually like me.
I feel like maybe I'm most insecure about how people perceive me. I don't drink, and I'm in a sorority, and it's just one of those situations where people kind of just assume a lot of stuff about you.
Behind my back, they might say, make fun of me because I'm happy or I'm too cheery, so I think they make fun of me, and so maybe they don't like me as much as they think they do. I think they do.
I guess maybe a little bit being left out a little bit, because I think I try to go the extra mile to include everybody, but I don't feel like it's always reciprocated.
Maybe I'm insecure about who I choose to surround myself with sometimes, or I think I have different groups of friends, but there's some insecurity when you're comparing yourself to someone else.
People everywhere, like their whole life, will always be like wanting like people to still accept them, and it's just like, okay, it's like one thing, it's like I know, it's like I am valuable, but it's like I want everyone to think like I'm like really cool and funny and smart, and it's like not everyone's gonna think that.
I guess kind of goes hand in hand. My greatest insecurities are not being remembered or not being significant in people's lives.
Maybe they're thinking something else, but I know I can be insecure being like, oh, if one person says something, it like bothers me for like 10 days, whereas like if someone says something nice or like compliments me, I'm like, oh, like that's cool, and then like forget about it.
Biggest insecurity is always thinking that someone is judging me off my race.
I'd say my weight sometimes. I'd definitely like to lose some, but
My biggest insecurity would have to be me being Asian and being a minority. And I think for the longest time when I was little, I used to think people didn't like me because I was a different color and different race from them.
I think my biggest insecurity is weight, because women are portrayed just to be so thin and skinny, and I've dealt with people calling me fat in my life before, so that's something that I just am really insecure about.
My weight and things that revolve around that, the size I am compared to other people.
In high school, I actually had an eating disorder, and I almost went into the hospital for that, and so it was kind of like a really long battle with that with myself and just trying to figure out who I was. And you know, in high school, I think people like looked at me, and I was always kind of like the girl that was friends with everybody and stuff, but like on the inside I was always just a person that I was never confident in myself, and I was, you know, never really independent. I always relied on other people and stuff.
You know, it happens that she's not the only one. I would definitely make sure that they understood that they weren't the only ones that had to deal with something like that. But I would also make sure that they understood that they don't need to be that insecure, and try to help them see the good things about them.
My weight gain in college, I used to run cross country in high school, and I ran track all 4 years. And I used to be in really good shape, and now I'm just not in good shape anymore.
Sometimes, I do think I kind of fall into the under pressure. You know, I think women these days feel that we have to be perfect and do everything. And I would be lying if I say that doesn't get to me, you know.
Well, obviously a lot of people have their flaws, and women especially are very aware of their flaws, and you know.
A lot of it changed for me when I came to college, and I feel like I just really figured out who I was, and not necessarily like what I want to do, because I still don't know, but
I don't like have a specific talent like a lot of people just have. Like, oh, I'm good at this, I'm athletic. I'm not athletic at all. Like, what's important to me is not what other people might deem important or as important as other things.
So my greatest insecurity,
just like how I look. That's normal though, I think. And it's just one of those things where I have to wake up in the morning and tell myself that I'm beautiful. And I want to start crying.
No one ever told me it's like you're worth something. Like you're worth something in God's eyes. Like you're priceless. Like you're His masterpiece, His best thing. And it's like,
I think the greatest difficulty with depression is that you don't see what you're worth to others, or like for yourself. Like you define yourself based on what other people think, and you never think you're good enough. So I try to combat that by telling the person like how wonderful they are and what they don't see in themselves that everyone else sees and that they need to see.
I think it's one of those things that you just have to hit a point where you empower it and are proud of it, and you just reflect everything that you want to be, not just like what society has told you to be, but with like embracing your heritage and who you are and what you are, and just be proud of it.
I mean, there's other stuff. It's just
sometimes I compare myself to people who have those, and it's difficult. But then at the same time, it's like she has flaws too. Nobody is perfect, you know? So it's like, okay, she probably doesn't have what I have sometimes. Like, I love corny jokes. She probably doesn't have corny jokes.
I allow myself to, radiate this personality, and sometimes I forget to love myself is the one thing. Not necessarily that I don't feel comfortable, sometimes I forget to be mindful that there's a lot of people who love me, there's a lot of people who support me, and sometimes I try so hard to help out others that I kind of forget to give myself that kind of comfort at times.
Literally sit down and think about the things that you love about yourself and tell them to yourself every single day. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're a beautiful person because you are, and
that everybody's different and everything is beautiful. Like seriously, every type of body image is absolutely beautiful. And there's somebody out there that will like appreciate it, and you should yourself.
And it's like I wish someone would have told me that sooner, so it wouldn't just be like, oh, like I don't want to be like rules and weird, but it's like I just feel like I never thought I was worth really anything.
I try to tell myself, everyone is different, everyone is made to be the way they're supposed to be, everyone is kind of beautiful in their own way.
I'm glad I'm this way, because that just makes me who I am. It's so cliche, but really, like,
you choose your emotions, and you can take things like as negative as you want to or as positive as you want to. It's all up to you.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm not happy, it doesn't really matter if I fit the most perfect or most pretty category. If I'm not happy, it's not really worth it.
I look at the people that love me the most and the people that I try to help out the most. My boyfriend, my best friend, my brothers, my sisters.
I talk to people who are important to me, and they kind of reassured me and made me feel like there is, I do have talents, they just might not be what other people have.
Being happy is the most important thing about being who you are, because it first comes with happiness.
One thing I love about myself. This is a hard one. This is a really tough question.
A favorite quality. Oh my goodness, this is hard.
My favorite qualities about myself are that
I think one of my favorite qualities is that I'm an adapter. I can adapt to anything. The worst situations, the best situations, the worst case scenario. I'm an adapter at all times.
I'm generally pretty positive about things. Even if things like get me down, I can usually get through it with like humor.
I like to think that I'm like pretty positive a lot of the time, and I think that's like the best way to go about anything in life.
Well, my last name is Pessimistis, which is kind of ironic because I'm kind of like pessimistic. But I guess every day I wake up and I look at life and I say, okay, what can I do today to make this the best day of the rest of my life? And I think that's really important because we don't know how much time we have here, and if you live every day like that, then hopefully every day will be close to a great day.
One of my favorite qualities is my optimism. I think I'm really good at finding the bright side.
I love my positivity. I always try to be a positive person and to let other women know what great qualities they have.
I think I'm funny. I think I'm smart. Or at least I hope I'm smart.
I don't get mad at all. I never get mad. I never get annoyed at people. Which I guess it might be a good or bad thing, but it doesn't mean I'm a pushover, because I mean I can have very strong opinions, but I'm a very happy person.
I don't let a little thing ruin my day, so if something gets me down, I might, be angry about it for an hour, but after that, I'm back on track and just getting the rest of the day better.
I'm actually too optimistic for my own good.
Because, I mean, it's hard, like nothing's perfect in life, but it's your attitude that you have about it.
But that's not a bad thing, I don't think.
I always look on the bright side, or at least try to look on the bright side of things.
I like that I genuinely try to be nice to everyone. I don't really like to put people down. Sometimes in junior high and high school you get sucked into the whole, well, she didn't have a cute shirt on today, so we're not gonna talk to her. Or just something dumb like that, kind of.
I think probably my best quality is that I don't really judge people by what they think of something or how they go about their lives.
I think I was always pretty good at treating everyone with respect and friendly, and whether it's cool to talk to you or it's not cool to talk to you, I'll hopefully always talk to you.
I'd say expecting the best of everyone and like respecting people, kind of just my outlook towards other people.
I think if people see one person accepting another person, I think it'll be like a chain reaction. Like if it's one of those, like if you give a smile to another person, like they'll see it and they'll just like keep smiling, and a whole bunch of other people will just keep smiling throughout the day and have positive thoughts.
I guess I don't feel like I depend on a man to be who I am, and just like being myself. You know, I'm a free spirit.
I can do everything by myself. I can encourage myself. I can do that. But I love that I have my friends to support me. I think that's having a great group of girlfriends, having even one girlfriend that really like you can feed off of is awesome.
I am my own person and I have my own morals, and I do stick to those morals. Although I have slipped a few times, I think everyone makes mistakes, and as long as you don't continue making those mistakes, you know, you still have your morals to hold on to.
I don't like to live my life based on what people feel a woman should be, especially as a woman of color.
I'd say that I'm somebody who people can trust, somebody that people can rely on.
I don't know, I'm very like adventurous. I like to do things just like, well, it'll be a good story.
My favorite quality about myself is my honesty. I am honest with people, but no matter what anybody asks, I'm never gonna sugarcoat anything. Some people call me intimidating and they're scared of me when they meet me. I've heard that many times.
Sense of humor, trying to make light of every situation, and trying to make every situation fun and happy, because sometimes you just get stuck in bad situations and there's nothing you can do.
You know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Things can always get better. I'm not gonna be stuck in this moment for the rest of my life.
I had some really great role models growing up. My mom is a great role model for me.
Female role model? Does it have to be someone famous?
No.
It's a hard question. I feel like I have a lot of role models that are like blended into one person in my head.
My mom, because
as I've gotten older, I've appreciated her more, and I've understood her like hard shell that she's had the entire time I've been growing up, but it's because she's so strong and she kind of needs to be that way.
My dad recently passed away, so she's been like the most like wonderful person I could like ever want to be in my life. So
she's very driven. She is able to speak her mind. Sometimes I kind of lack that. I'm a little passive. She's very aggressive. She has a good edge on her, and she knows what she wants, and she just goes for it.
I don't know. She immigrated to the United States. She had to deal with a lot when she came here, and the mentality is different.
just being able to like put on a good face and like get out of bed every day and love life and have like a super positive attitude about everything, even in the face of this adversity.
She believes that if you don't speak up, you're not gonna get the things you want in life.
I would say my mom first and foremost. She's dealt with a lot. Like, she's a single mom, and she lost her job for a while, and it was really cool to see her really be persistent and still work hard. And it may have been hard, and she struggled definitely, but to see her push through and now have a really great job is a really good thing to see.
I saw her raise me by herself, no help, and seeing that and her being strong and going back to school and working some jobs, making sure I went to private school. Like, I saw her just deal with so much and take on so much. So for me, I just felt like I have to be the same. I have to give the same.
And I've learned a lot from her to be a strong woman and to be proud of who you are.
Definitely a big impact in my life, and I think too, like, the Asian culture is probably another thing that's probably contributed to myself, and just I think the people that I've encountered, and I went to an all-girls school, so I think that played a role.
My female role model.
I actually have a lot. J.K. Rowling and Tina Fey, and my mom.
Oh geez. Oprah, is that horrible to say? I'm totally into Oprah and everything that she's accomplished. She is one talented woman with a lot of money.
Being an African American woman, she already had a lot of obstacles to overcome, and she started in like what, the 80s. Think about how hard it was then. I have no idea. I was born in 1990. You know.
Well, J.K. Rowling, well, because she wrote Harry Potter, which is kind of like my childhood / life / reason for living.
It's a good one. Am I gonna say Diane Sawyer right now? Yeah, I said it.
I like Virginia Woolf. And wait, I get the Christie too. I like authors a lot. I like reading a lot. I haven't read a lot lately, but I like reading overall. I think they're just independent characters and they're just really good at writing. So they're my models.
I think it's important to pick your influences, but at the same time, you can't go through life trying to be somebody else.
I would have to say my grandmother, actually, because very much appropriate to this kind of thing. My grandma was mistreated in her marriage.
She immigrated from Greece and is one of the most strong-willed people I have met in my whole entire life.
But she never married since then because she likes to think that she's an independent woman and she doesn't need a male to take care of her, and she's very happy still to this day.
She's a very strong woman and always is very classy.
I really like the 1950s and how classy that era is and how poised women are.
I really look up to my sister. She's just a year older than me, but she's like the coolest person I've ever met.
I think it's always a work in progress to be like her.
I'd say maybe this is weird, but Coco Chanel. She was just this classy lady who made this elegant fashion, and obviously it's stuck with today's society and it's gonna stick for years and years and years beyond this.
You know, my parents always told me, no matter what, to always put my 100% in everything that I do and never get discouraged. So as much as some negative things may want to make me shy away from doing things, I never did. I always worked hard.
They always encouraged me to realize that I could do anything that my brothers could do. I could do anything that they couldn't do. Whatever I kind of wanted to do, the world is my oyster kind of thing, and never discouraged me from following my dreams, even if those dreams weren't necessarily their own.
And always told me that I can do whatever I want to do as long as I keep my mind to it and work hard, and you don't need anything else.
Okay, I got it.
I think one of my greatest assets is my faith. I have a really strong faith and strong belief in God, and I think that gets me through a lot, and that really makes me who I am.
What drives me? Well, my faith is something that really drives me in life. I'm a very strong Christian, and that's really helped me overcome a lot of my struggles, just knowing that God is always on my side and that God will provide.
And I'm very blessed that I'm even here on this campus. I'm very blessed for that, and it's just all these opportunities I know that have been lined up. It's by God that I'm here.
I mean, my faith is really important to me. What I believe in, especially in terms of morals. I don't ever want to cross that, and promises that I've made to myself.
Well, just off the top of my head, I think my greatest asset. This sounds so superficial, but I was going to say my smile.
I'm kind of an awkwardly charming person, and I kind of use my awkwardness to my advantage in making other people feel less awkward and more comfortable.
I don't know. It just shows your whole being, I think, when you smile.
Well, I have a nice singing voice, and I guess when I'm alone in the car and I don't really feel like I'm having a great day, I do like to do that, and it kind of picks me up a little bit. So if I didn't have that, I guess that would stink, and it definitely sets me apart from everyone else.
I think the ability to say that I'm wrong.
I think I'm really open-minded because I am bicultural. Because what you have, someone else doesn't, and what you don't have, someone else wants just as bad as you do. So remember, no one's perfect. Nobody has it all. Just love you for you.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. God will provide a great life for you. Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Just always remember it's more important to love yourself.
Love yourself.
Life is a beautiful thing, so keep smiling because there's lots of things to smile about. So love yourself, okay?
Love yourself.
You can't rely on others to build you up by loving you, so you have to love yourself.
You're perfect in your imperfection, and you should love yourself.
Love yourself.
Just love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Love yourself.
Love yourself. Please love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Love yourself. At the end of the day, it's good to be you, so love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself, because if you don't, it's going to be hard to find somebody else who will.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.